guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video here. I really wanted to talk about Clubhouse today because it's been on my mind. I've been mentioning it over and over, but I want to talk about what the hell Clubhouse is, what I'm doing on there, why I like it so much, and kind of how it works. So we're just gonna have a really chatty time here and we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so first and foremost, what is Clubhouse? Clubhouse is basically a new social media app that is specifically focused on audio. So think Zoom without the video concept, and you can have all kinds of people from all over the world talking about different topics. So right now it is invite only. You have to have someone send you an invite. And basically how that happens is I go into my app, I think I have a couple invites. I could text it to you or just send it to you via a code, and then you can log in. You can reserve your username, but once you get the code or someone lets you in, then you can explore the app. And essentially what happens is there are conversations all throughout the day on literally every single topic you could possibly ever think of, and I really mean that. I've gone into so many different rooms. There's a lot that I listen to about influencer marketing, social media, digital marketing, because I feel like that's really what I know and where I feel like I can actually help people. And then there's, the dermatology and skincare and beauty talks. And then there's so many rooms on NFTs because that is a hot topic right now. But seriously, any topic you could think of, like if you like gardening or plants or the environment, or you're vegan or you're a huge Bravo fan, whatever it may be, there is 100% multiple rooms for you, no doubt about it. How it works is one person will create a room about a topic. You can do this under a club, or you can just create a room. You don't need to have a club to create a room anymore. They did update that recently. And you just name the room whatever the topic is going to be about. Right now, I just got out of a room called The Future of Influencer Marketing, which was super interesting, and I only hopped in for about 30 minutes because I've been on back-to-back lives and calls and filming. So it will play even if you are not necessarily active. So in order to leave a room, you have to leave it quietly, which just means it's not going to mess anything up. No one's going to hear any you leaving, going in and out. But it's just really interesting, and I honestly get stuck on there for so long because kind of the flow of the room is the moderator, who's the main person who started it, will lead the discussion on whatever that topic is, and then they will make other people moderators. And when you're a moderator, you're able to add other people up on stage, but you're also able to speak at any time. And what happens is you will have to mute or unmute yourself if you come on stage. If you're just listening to a discussion, you never have to talk. You can be listening to this just like you would a podcast. If you want to come up on stage, once you come up on stage, you need to make sure you mute your mic. And then when you're called on to ask a question or ask for an audit, we do a lot of Instagram audits in some of the rooms I'm in. That is when you would unmute your mic, ask your question and speak, and then you would remute your mic. So that's kind of the basic of it. It's not really that complicated, and it sounds like the dumbest idea on earth. And I remember when a couple of my friends, like Jenny, my podcast manager, my friend Greg, my friend Megan, they all were like, you have to get on Clubhouse. You're a talker. You have a podcast. This is perfect for you. And I was like, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever, because I felt like, why would I listen and talk all day? But turns out I'm actually really addicted to it, and I think a lot of people are, because the app has grown exponentially in the last couple of months. I think they had like about 1 million people on the app just last fall, and now it's over 10 million, which is crazy growth. That kind of growth is really hard to come by these days, but there is something addicting about being on there. And I think case in point, Monday, one of the rooms that I really love from a girl named Hannah, she does the Mondays and Wednesdays. It's supposed to be a 2-hour room, like 1 to 3. That room did not end until 10 p.m. and we were all still going. There were questions still being asked. There was like 300 people still in the room. I mean, it was popping. It was like a party all day. So there is this level of camaraderie and being able to talk to people. So it's just a really fun thing to do. So that's kind of the basic of it. And I know you're probably like, I don't really know if I want to be a part of that. But honestly, if you like talking to people about similar interests you have, or you're looking to learn something and you don't want to talk, perfect way to do it. I mean, I can't tell you how many groups I've seen about NFTs. Like I didn't even care about NFTs, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit in one of these rooms and learn what the hell it is. 30 minutes later, I was like, okay, got it. I understand what's going on here. But there are people strategizing about selling NFTs. There's people strategizing about finances, the stock market. Like, seriously, anything you can think of, it's on there. And it is really interesting if you're looking to learn about something that you may not have known about, because things are changing so fast. Sometimes by the time you listen to a podcast or you read something, that's already outdated. So listening to it live really gives you the most up-to-date information. So that is where I found a lot of value. And then I really love to talk. So it kind of works for me because I love to talk about social media and influencer marketing and all of that good stuff. So that is kind of what it is. It's a social media app based solely on audio, no video. So you can be doing whatever you want to be doing. And all you have to make sure to do is, if you are up on stage, you do need to have your mic muted because nobody wants to hear the background noise, like your dog barking or your kids screaming. You just got to mute it until you're ready to speak. So that is what Clubhouse is, essentially. Why do I love it so much? I have connected with people from all over the world, and a lot of them are in the US because of obviously the time differences. Like, sometimes people in the UK pop on early in the morning and then they kind of drop off after about noon, 1 p.m. here Pacific time. But it's just really cool to be able to talk to people, get their perspective. And the interesting thing too is that when we start talking about features, think for example, new features on Instagram, new features on YouTube, different countries and regions, even in the US, have different capabilities. So for example, IGTV has launched ads now over on Instagram. And this is something that YouTube has done for a long time. YouTube has been monetizing and putting ads in different videos for years. They're notorious for it. It's how it all started. And they were like, okay, we should probably pay these creators that they're creating these videos and pay them per view and pay them for the ads. IGTV is finally doing this after I moved my series, my Monday mashup series, from IGTV to YouTube here for you guys, which is so annoying. They're like a day late and a dollar short with everything, but they're realizing that all these apps are monetizing and giving back to the creators. They're not just charging people to post on there, because Instagram has been pay to play for a while now because of Facebook. And so the fact that Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, all of these other platforms are paying creators for the content, IGTV had to do it, or I should say Instagram had to do it through the form of IGTV. So that is something that I learned is only available to a small select few, and it sounds like it's more West Coast based as well, but it's not available to people in Europe yet. So those are the types of things that you kind of start to learn, like what if that had been a new feature in the UK that was being tested out? It would be really cool to learn that in a Clubhouse chat where people are like, okay, today I uploaded or I updated my app and now this feature is here. So you're really learning stuff like as it's coming out, which is really unique, but also you're getting to interact with people who are interested in the same things as you are. And there is something about voice that really connects you to people, right? There's this concept of video, which is great, but then there's also voice. It kind of feels like, okay, we were on a call together, and it gives you those like conference room vibes where like you may not even know like Bobby who was on the call, but now you're kind of connected because you heard him speak to somebody else on the call and he heard you speak and you are kind of connected. It's like a really interesting concept, but everybody that I've been on stage with so far, I've followed, I've interacted, I've been in rooms with them, I'll follow them into the rooms that they're in. So it's just been like a really cool community building piece. And I will say the fact that it's gotten so much bigger now obviously means that there are clicks. Just like with every single social media network, there is a time when it's all like one big community, and then the bigger it gets, the growing pains kind of start to come out to the surface. So there's been a lot of updates on the app over the last couple of weeks, and I've seen a lot of bugginess where people are just like thrown out of rooms and just the room ends like very abruptly. Nobody ended it, or everyone claims they didn't end it, or you can't get back in. So they've definitely been going through the growing pains. And they also have limits on how many people can be in a room. It's about 7,000 or 8,000. So if you have like some major celebrity like Mark Zuckerberg was in a room, and I think it capped out at about 7,000. So then you have to go into an overflow. So there's still issues like that, but I think they're doing a really good job. And the fact that it is mostly audio, I think makes it a lot easier for them because there isn't this like streaming element of video. And so yeah, I think it's been really fun. And it is also the reason that Instagram now has the ability to go live with up to 4 people, because they're really trying to combat this Clubhouse vibe that has the capacity to have up to 7,000 people in a room. But the difference obviously there is that you still have to be on video when you are over on Instagram versus because you're still on audio. You can be in your PJs, top bun, didn't wash your face or brush your teeth type of situation. You can still be on Clubhouse, whereas you don't have to be like all dolled up like you would feel like you needed to be if you were on video. So that's kind of the difference and the updates and why I love it. But I have also found that this is, everyone keeps asking me what is the best way to grow on Instagram. And the thing that I have really learned is that there's two major platforms that are really hooking up and getting those followers over on Instagram that are going to be engaged. They're going to comment, they're going to swipe up, they're going to buy. And the first is obviously TikTok, because TikTok still has the capacity to get you viral. There's still a lot of discoverability. You are able to really grow on that platform, and those followers can translate over to Instagram. But what I've found that almost 90% of the people who have followed me over on Clubhouse have also followed me over on Instagram. And every time I speak in a room, whether they follow me on Clubhouse or not, they always check out your Instagram, because the way that the Clubhouse bio is formed, you write everything about yourself. It's like your resume, all the best things that you've done in your career. You maybe brands that you're really hoping to work with. And then at the very bottom, you can connect your Twitter or your Instagram. Everybody goes over to Instagram because literally everybody on Clubhouse has an Instagram. That's kind of the first place they'll go to check it out, see what kind of following you have, what is your theme like, what's your business, what do you do. And literally every single person who has followed me on Clubhouse, almost to a T, will always go to Instagram and follow me there. So it has been a really great converter. And I think it's because you're spending the time on the app, you're talking to people, you're giving them advice. And whether you're giving advice or following the advice or just listening in, whatever it may be, there is just some sort of more connectivity there that is less platonic than TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, all of that other stuff. It's just a different connector when you hear someone's voice and you can understand what they're saying. They're talking about a topic you're really passionate about. So it has just been a really good converter. So if you are not on the app yet, I highly recommend checking it out. I have a couple more invites, and I've realized the more times I speak and the longer I'm on the app, the more invites they keep giving me, because they know that I'm active, so they want me to invite my friends. So if you need one, let me know. Hit me up over in the DMs on Instagram. I'd love to have more people coming to the rooms and also participating, because again, it is such a good learning experience. And one of the things I didn't initially really understand is, where is this, chat going to live? And it disappears. It doesn't go anywhere. And so it kind of may feel like a waste of time to some degree, but it's totally not, because you're having conversations with real people. And when you think about it, most of the conversations you have with people are not recorded by you. So why not have those conversations with people who could actually use your help, where you're actually giving them something that is teaching them or making their business do better? So it's just been a really cool community. I have just been really enjoying it. And like I said, that room on Monday of this week, 10 hours in there. I mean, I was doing other things, sort of, and I've just realized through Clubhouse that I'm actually a really terrible multitasker. Like, I've burned food, like, it's just, I'm not great at multitasking, not as good as I originally thought, but I'm still trying to get emails and write blog posts and do other things while I'm listening. So it's been really fun. I would love to know what questions you guys have. It is, I would say it's kind of like podcasts, where if you're not into listening, I don't know that it would be the right app for you, because not everybody, for example, is into YouTube because they don't like the long form videos. Not everyone is into TikTok because they don't like the short form and they prefer YouTube. So there's always something that you may enjoy or may not. But if you're not into podcasts, I don't know that you would be into Clubhouse, because there is a lot of listening. And even for me being on stage often, I have to listen to a lot of people go through their bios and their intros, and a lot of questions asking and people talking about themselves. So if you're not a good listener, I don't know that it's the best app for you, but it could help with your listening skills long term if you are not on the stage and you just want to learn about something that you may not know that much about. So highly recommend it. That is where I've been. I think in terms of strategy, if you are wanting to get on there, I would recommend doing it for the reason that you want to help people or you want to learn. I wouldn't go into it thinking, I really want to have 10,000 followers on Clubhouse, because that's going to take you a whole lot of time. You're going to get really addicted and you're not going to get to anything else on your list. But it's definitely possible, and it's really cool that every time you speak, people will listen and they will also find it so helpful that they'll want to follow your journey. And I think that has been the coolest part, is like this avenue and this platform that gives me a chance to share some of the knowledge I've learned about social over the last decade. And the world has changed a lot on social media since 2012. So it's just cool to talk to people who have been doing it longer than I have, or as long as I have, or just who started, 3 to 6 months ago because they were like, we're in a pandemic, let me get on social and see what I can do. So lots of different perspectives from people across all walks of life. So if you are not on the app, I would love to know if you have questions. I will answer them in the comments, and I just want to get more people over there because it's just been really fun. And I think it also helps us all get off of Instagram because we're all just so addicted to it, and it's like constantly on Instagram. So Clubhouse has been a nice refresher and kind of time away from this very unhealthy addiction to Instagram. So yeah, that is it. I just wanted to chat about that because I have gotten questions saying like, what is it? Why are you on it? Is this the new thing? And it's growing really fast. So I definitely think there is some longevity to Clubhouse. They've also got lots of cool people on there. And that's the other thing I'll mention too. I was on a stage the other day with Candy Johnson. She's like the queen of YouTube. She started this whole YouTube that made this, industry even possible back in the day. So just being on stage with her was insane. And then I was also on stage with Tori Spelling, and I DM'd her and she responded to my message because she knew that we were on stage together, and I was like, oh yeah, I just like DM'd you that or whatever. There is no other platform or like space where I could have been talking directly to Tori Spelling. You know what I mean? Like it just gives people, there's no barriers almost, which is kind of cool. It's a little bit revealing, and people, sometimes people are nervous, but you kind of get over it after you do it a couple times. So it's just been a really cool connector of all sorts of people, which I've really enjoyed. And lots of people that you're going to hear over on my podcast as well, they have come onto the show. So it's been great. I really can't say enough good things about it. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in just a couple days' time with another video. Bye!